Have you ever felt an exhaustion that never seems to go away, even after a full night's sleep? Or do you know someone who, for no apparent reason, stopped doing what they loved, became distant, and started acting differently? Many times these signs are ignored or mistaken for stress, laziness, or just a bad phase. But what if it's something more serious? Depression doesn't always show up as deep sadness. In fact, it can hide in small habits and behaviors that often go unnoticed, and the longer it goes unrecognized, the harder it can be to overcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about the silent signs of depression, the ones that often slip under the radar but can make all the difference if identified in time. Because when we recognize these symptoms early, we can seek help before things get worse. And stay with me until the end, because the last sign on this list is one of the most dangerous, and hardly anyone talks about it. Depression is a condition that affects millions of people around the world. But many of these people don't even realize they're depressed. That's because depression can manifest in unexpected ways, confusing even those who are going through it. The problem is, if these signs go unnoticed, the situation tends to get worse, making everything more difficult, from daily activities to personal relationships. A lot of people associate depression with constant sadness, but in reality, it can show up in much more subtle ways. Some depressed people keep smiling, going out with friends, and even working normally. Yet deep down, something feels off. That's why identifying these hidden signs can be the key to preventing things from getting worse and making the recovery process much easier. The first silent sign of depression is constant fatigue with no explanation. Everyone feels tired sometimes, but when exhaustion becomes a daily struggle and doesn't improve, even after a good night's sleep, it's a red flag. A person may feel drained all the time, as if even simple tasks take an enormous effort. Getting out of bed in the morning becomes a challenge, and even small things, like answering messages or taking a shower, seem overwhelming. This happens because depression directly affects the brain's energy regulation, making everything feel exhausting. If you constantly feel this type of fatigue without a clear reason, it's time to pay attention. The second sign is a change in sleep patterns. Some people start sleeping way more than usual, using sleep as an escape from reality. Others, on the other hand, struggle with insomnia, even though they're exhausted. This cycle becomes a serious issue because a lack of restorative sleep worsens emotional and mental health. If you've noticed drastic changes in your sleep routine and can't pinpoint a reason, it could be a warning sign. Another lesser-known symptom is irritability and emotional outbursts. Many people think depression only shows up as sadness and apathy, but for some, it appears as constant irritation. Small things start to feel unbearable, leading to frequent frustration or outbursts of anger. This happens because depression affects the neurotransmitters responsible for emotional regulation, making a person more reactive. If you or someone close to you has been unusually short-tempered or frustrated without a clear reason, it could be a sign of something deeper. The fourth silent sign is losing interest in things that once brought joy. If someone used to love going out with friends, watching movies, or listening to music but suddenly doesn't feel any excitement for those activities, this could be a warning. This loss of interest, called anhedonia, is one of the most common symptoms of depression. Life starts to feel colorless, and activities that once brought happiness now seem dull. If you feel like you've lost connection with what once made you happy, it might be time to take a closer look. And now, we've reached the fifth sign, one of the most concerning: self-doubt and constant guilt. A depressed person often starts feeling inadequate, as if nothing they do is good enough. Thoughts like, "I'm a burden to others," or "I can't do anything right" become frequent. This excessive guilt can lead to even more isolation and make it harder to ask for help. This is one of the most dangerous signs, as it can lead to even more serious thoughts if left untreated. If you've recognized one or more of these signs in yourself or someone close to you, it's essential to take action. The first step is understanding that depression is not laziness or weakness. It's a medical condition that can and should be treated. Talking to someone you trust is already a big step. Many times, opening up about what we feel can relieve some of the emotional weight and bring new perspectives. But beyond that, seeking a mental health professional may be crucial for effective treatment. If you notice these signs in someone you care about, the most important thing is to offer support without judgment. Many times, a simple "I'm here for you" can make a huge difference. Depression is not something that can be fixed with motivational quotes or empty advice. What truly helps is empathy and genuine support. Now that you know these signs, you can help yourself or someone close to you before things get worse. If this video helped you in any way, share it with someone who might need this information. Sometimes, just sharing this video can be the first step for someone to seek help. And let me know in the comments, have you ever noticed these signs in someone? Let's talk about it.